Stop! This is not financial advice. I am not someone who is qualified to give you financial advice, nor should you take this as financial advice. This is a video based on my opinion and my personal experiences, and you should take it as such. I do not recommend you do any of these things in particular. I'm really showing my experiences and opinions. Thank you. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ethan over here from Dozens of Dimes, where finance channels are a dime a dozen on YouTube, and I feel as though I'm as good as at least 10 of them. Today I want to talk about Pokemon cards due to the recent explosion of the popularity of them, particularly older cards or cards that will be valuable in a certain amount of time, given how Pokemon as an IP has been going pretty strong for about 23 years-ish. It's about how old I am, actually. So I believe what started it off is Logan Paul, or even before that, Gary V. He started talking about Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards, they're going to be like artwork. They're going to be like a Mona Lisa to us or something. And then I believe in order, Logan Paul opened up a collector's booster box of the first set, which brought millions of people into the whole environment, I guess. And then I think after that, Logic bought the first edition Shadowless Charizard for like $170,000, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what it was, and in that order. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. But basically, we have this giant surgence, some may call it a bubble, of Pokemon cards. People seeing them as investments, despite them not playing the game, which is very interesting if you compare it to Magic the Gathering, how people don't see cards of Magic the Gathering are of equal value when, lore of Magic or whatever, like goblins and stuff are in media, such as Game of Thrones or just anything else, like any big fantasy. I'm surprised people aren't more invested into that, but they're more invested into the Pokemania of 30 years ago, 20 years ago, where those same people who were kids are now old enough to buy the cards, much like the people in the late 80s, early 90s with sports cards. They had the I forget his name, the really good player, starts with an M, I think, the really good baseball player for the Yankees in the 50s, Mickey or something. I don't remember his name. But that card was the card to have. It was like 1954, 55, I think. So all the people who were kids around then bought cards 30 years later, into MLB, so they printed more cards, and they got devalued, quote unquote, the junk era, as I've been told. But why am I getting into this? Because it is a perfect storm of exactly what happened with sports cards and now Pokemon cards, where pretty much to the date, 1997, 1999, somewhere around there, 20, 30 years later, those same people who grew up with Pokemon, I grew up with Pokemon, but I wasn't like super into it as a kid. I was born in 97. Those same people who grew up with it are now old enough to buy cards, or slightly old enough to buy cards, or those people or their parents finding their cards in their attic or their basement or something, and trying to see if they can cash out. So in a sense, it is a bubble. In another sense, it's been a bubble since it was popularized when it literally came out. So it's always been popular. And I don't really see it crashing anytime soon. Just because, Nintendo's Nintendo. They're going to be around forever. They're like Disney, essentially. You just can't get rid of them. For better or for worse. But thank you for listening to me ramble on. That's the end of the video. Hope you have a good... No, I'm just kidding. So I have some notes over here on this screen. I'm sorry if I don't make eye contact with you the whole time. I'm not really used to doing the whole thing. I'm used to live content. So in my live content in particular on Twitch, the people who engage with me know that I go on long rants and tangents. So I will be fair. This is like my third or fourth time recording this. First time today, recorded like 3 or 4 times yesterday, trying to get everything sorted out get a feel for what's good. So excuse me because I'm not used to recorded content. That I'm a little inept, but I can only learn with experience. But over here I have some notes of things I want to go over. Please hold me to it if I miss out and don't go over something. But I want to show you guys how to spot a PSA 10, which I think would be the key focal point of the video. Looking up pricing for raw cards versus graded cards. What grade is a bad grade? What cards to grade? And where to get the cards. So in particular, there is a bunch of cards that you guys might already know that are really good. And by good, I mean like valuable. So it's the first editions, anything first edition, because they apparently stopped early 2000s of making first edition cards. I didn't know about this till recently, because again, I wasn't super new at it as a kid growing up. You know, I had like a tin or something of like one Pokemon card or, you know, whatever. Didn't have too many of them. Either way, there's these newer sets that have cards like this. This is a Shining Mew from Shining Legends. A pretty decent set, as far as I've been told, for like legendaries. So I have these three. I opened... how many boxes did I open? I opened 6 Raichu GX boxes, I believe. And I, at one point, bought 3 more boxes. But I've shit those out on eBay. And did not make any money because of how large and weird the box was. I made like 13 cents a box or something. At that point, I would have kept it. So that's a good point for you guys. If you guys see Raichu GX boxes, they retail for about $30 to $35. Sorry, no, they retail for $35. If you have some kids selling you the cards in like a Target, for example, or a Walmart, and it's actually still there for some reason, you might be able to price match with GameStop for $15, which I did manage to do. So in those Raichu GX packs, in those Raichu GX boxes, I believe there's about 5 packs, an exclusive in-game card code, 1 in each pack, 1 in the box, a giant weird-looking card that's like this big, seems useless to me, a token, and I think that's it. But in those packs, I got these cards. If these were graded PSA 10, which they won't be, which I'll tell you why. This one I think is about $400 right now. This one about $200 right now. Really, really low for some reason. Because it's Mew. Everyone knows who Mew is. It's from the first Pokemon set. You know, the 151st Pokemon, right? Shining Jirachi, which is one of my favorite Pokemon, because I apparently like all the cute ones. Yeah, big fan of that one. I don't know what that's going for right now. Something like 300 or 400, I think, PSA 10. But these are all, unfortunately, not PSA 10s, at least to my eyes. And hopefully what I'm going to do is train you to see a PSA 10 on eBay to try and make an informed buying decision to see if you can luck out and make a lot of money buying PSA 10 cards that are ungraded. So the 3 real places you can get Pokemon cards are from someone who already has them. Let's say in like Facebook Marketplace, maybe Craigslist, maybe, or eBay. I think I counted eBay as the second place, actually. You can get them from a distributor. Wow. So like someone who's selling like wholesale, and then you can get the cards retail, and which retail buys from the distributor, of course. They'll have their ups and downs. Retail is, somewhere in the middle ground between most and least expensive, because it should be MSRP, but sometimes it's not, depending where you buy it from. Facebook is like a hit and miss because, you're going to get some guy who's like squeezing the card, which you can get on eBay as well. Or you're going to get some weirdo, maybe he smokes and now the card smells like cigarettes and that's just weird. Maybe the guy like spit on the card or something. You never really know, unfortunately. So that's why you see listings with the title Pack Fresh on them, because they open up a pack and they immediately penny sleeved all the cards. These were penny sleeved as soon as I got them, and I put them in the case like yesterday or something. So, but I did sleeve them immediately, which is good. Yeah, you want to sleeve cards immediately if you get them from a pack, absolutely. But let me show you over here on eBay how to see a PSA 10 card. Let me pause this real quick. Okay, I'm back. So from what you can see up top, you're gonna spoil yourself if you look up there. But what I have here is a listing for Shining Lugia PSA 10. It is not in the Shining Legends set. I believe it is in the set before or something similar to it. But this is a card that I do actually want to hold as an investment. Why? Because Lugia is from the second generation. Ho-Oh Lugia. Ho-Oh was the rainbow one. Was in the first episode of the anime or the cartoon on normie TV. So people recognize, and care about Ho-Oh and Lugia, Gen 2, Johto, right? And judging by these prices here, I think that holds true. So a PSA 10 is going for, right now, somewhere between like $500 and $800. On this website over here, Mavin.io or Mavinio or whatever you want to call it, I can just look up Shining Lugia and filter by the high to low price. All the links for these will be in the description, by the way. I can just filter by the price, and I can see the exact date it sold. I don't have to like scour through eBay, pretend like I get it. I want to look at the eBay from like 2004 and hasn't changed since. So I can pull this up. It'll give me all the information they have here and what this card actually sold for, which sold for 800 gem mint from PSA. Pretty good, right? If I go back down here, we can see that Japanese cards aren't selling for as high as English cards, which holds true usually most of the time. Even depending on Pokemon cards, Magic cards, etc. English cards seem to hold the most value, probably because we buy the weirdest stuff. All these Raw cards down here are going for like $30. If I search PSA 8, you can see that it's going for about $60. For some reason $100, but generally $60. So if we look up a PSA 9, it's going for about $150. So if you take this into account, you can buy a Raw card apparently for $10.50 if you want to bid. But if we search by buy it now, I don't know why. Oh, let me do best match. No, I'm already doing best match. That's odd. It's showing me all the PSA cards, but I'm not searched for PSA cards here. Take my word for it. Raw Shining Lugia cards are going for about $35 to $40 right now on eBay. So maybe if I search by lowest first, I'll get those. $19, $10. Oh, that's a Thailand card. I wouldn't buy foreign cards and try and grade them, because I'm not sure if the market cares. Americans buy weird stuff. Don't get me wrong on that one. Huh. That's super strange. I actually can't find any Shining Lugia cards that are being sold right now. I did yesterday, but this important person in a group I'm in put out a guide, basically says, buy up all of these cards in this set. So I'm afraid that now he said that, all the cards are gone. And I think that might be it. Maybe I'm searching in a category that's bad. Shining Lugia? Wow, $55 right now. 40 watchers. Yeah. Believe me when I say, people are onto this now, and I apologize for being too late on it. This is looking like a pretty damn good card. I mean, a pretty good card. I probably shouldn't swear on this platform. You can see how the left end and the right end are basically equal, as well as the top and the bottom. The bottom is a little bit more thick than the top, which could be bad, could be good, depending on who's looking at it. If we go here and look at a PSA 10 card on this website, I suppose, I can actually pull out this listing because eBay saves listings for 3 months. And I'm able to see what it looks like. So, because I'm able to pull up the listing picture, I'm able to see what a PSA 10 actually looks like. So, if I go over here, I can't zoom in like that, I guess, but I can do that. Perfect. Okay. Sorry, I'm a bit of a boomer. You can see what a PSA 10 looks like. Now, even though they only have this one picture, because it is valued at a 10, I can assume that the back is absolutely perfect. So along the top and the bottom and the sides of the cards on the back, what ends up happening over time is like little bits chip off at the paper, because it's shiny cardboard. So it eventually just gets scuffed all over the the important part of the card, the part that gets seen, I guess. So that's taken into account at PSA, where they basically ding the card for every minor infraction. So apparently they look at the surface of the card, they see if there's any scratches, if it was so looked at wrong, for example. They'll be able to tell and see, oh yeah, maybe that's a 9.5, maybe that's a 10, just to really, cement that fact. There's other things that they do, might not be great. I've heard that some people, if they get rated a 9, what they do is they take the card out of the package container, this thing here, and they send it in again and hope they get a 10 from someone else, which is possible. Which brings me to my point. Sorry for diverting. That I actually have the population for the evaluation of the card on PSA. If it was graded on PSA, generally speaking, you should not listen to whatever numbers they have here, except for the 10 and anything below an 8. I would generally assume is probably correct. So someone probably actually did get a PSA grading of 2, and kept it because, oh my god, yeah, it's a real card, but that guy, they put it through the wash or something, dude. That's terrible. There's 2 PSA 5s in existence apparently, 6 12s, 12 6s, 11 7s, almost 200 PSA 8s of these cards. Allegedly, as well as the last one allegedly, 451 9s. So again, you could take a 9. Oh, you got graded a 9. Let me throw it back into PSA. Wait X number of days. Get it back. Oh, it's 9. Let me do it again. And then they get a 10. And apparently, because 10 holds the highest value, you can't get 11 or 10.5. There are only 241 of these Shining Lugia cards that in existence that are a PSA 10. I've heard that other card grading companies, they have an easier time, grading the cards. Not because it's hard, but because they're easier on you. So you might get rated a 9.5 at PGA or Beckett or whatever, but it would only be like a 7 or an 8 at PSA. So I would like to think that PSA is the strictest grading company. So at least in the Pokemon world, the 10 for PSA holds the highest amount of value. If you get graded at PGA, for example, like a PGA 9.5, because I don't think they give out 10s, you're not going to get as high, as much value as you could if you got it at PSA, which, PSA at the very least has a program to take the rival company card and, you know, re-look it over and put it into their case. So even then, you're taking cards with an official number that you can look up and scan, taking out of their system, putting it in a new version, being like, oh, it exists, you know, when it exists like 3 or 4 different times when it gets graded. So that's the reality of what happens. Does it have some success? Evidently. On this website here, TCG Player, to further divert from the point I was trying to make earlier, you can see all the market prices of all the cards here on TCG Player. Generally, this is just to give me an idea of how much a card is worth. You know, I can go sell it on eBay for whatever I want, right? A quarter, a penny, $100, $10 million, doesn't matter. But the going market value is what I can pretty much figure out here as to generally what the card is going to be worth. Not necessarily worth graded, but this is what the card would be worth raw if I got it from TCG Player. I believe from them. So at the top of the list, because I filtered it by the most expensive ones, because it's going to correlate what the rarest cards are. So the rarest cards are shiny holo rares and shiny secret rares. I guess shiny is holo, right? So we got shiny holo rare for this Mewtwo GX card. I think it's undervalued right now. I think people are probably also buying that card out. Mind you, I recorded some of this yesterday of like shining Lugia cards actually being listed on eBay. So the fact that they're not here anymore is insane to me. Yeah, I'm glad I have these cards here, you know, on my desk right now, but no shining Lugia. For this Shining Legends set, we have Mewtwo GX. It's a secret rare. Basically, you win a lottery. You have like less than a 1% chance of getting it in a pack. It can happen. Super rare. You know, Shining Mew, Shining Rayquaza, which is very, very worth it right now. I think a PSA 10 today is going for 400. And I think I can just look it up actually. Shining Rayquaza, PSA 10. Let's see what they say. So apparently the Japanese version is going for 70. So if I filter this by high to low, 400, 350, 4 months ago even. If I scroll down the page a bit, 4 months ago, a PSA 10 Shining Rayquaza was going for, a holo was going for 230. So really, in June, late June, early June, stuff like this was going a PSA 10 2 months ago, $215. PSA 10 Shining Rayquaza, Shining Legends. Can you believe that? PSA 10 Gem Mint, $125. 5 months ago, back in May. Pretty much everyone's still in lockdown, believe it or not, in May. And this sold. Someone who is clearly in a better state of being than most during that time buys this on eBay for $125. That is insane. We can get into like market downturns or whatever on a future video or something like that, but buying this card at that price is absolutely insane. And I'm only saying that today after Logan Paul, after Logic, after Gary V, right? Gary V said it like years ago, right? But I digress. You guys want to see how to actually see a PSA 10 card? I might just like throw in some like footage from the other day, I guess, but I really went into how to physically see it. So I guess I'll show you my card because it might not even be on eBay anymore, so I can't show you on the screen. But with this particular set of Shining Legends, there was a real issue of quality. So what I've been told by my friend is that when these people print these cards off these sheets, you know, like mass demands of these, you know, over and over and over, because, you know, they're obviously made in a factory. If they're like cut even like slightly like millimeters off, it can be like a PSA 9 or an 8 or a 5. You know what I mean? Like, probably not that bad, but it's going to get worse because it's not 100% perfect. So you can get a Shining Mew in a pack and freak out and have a good time. But when you go to evaluate it and try and get a PSA 10 that sells for $400, versus selling Raw for 30, PSA 8 for 60, a PSA 9 for 150, you instead are hoping for PSA 10, which sells for apparently $400 plus. I don't know if this is going to go up in the future. Probably will. You're hoping for that 10, but if you get a card from the factory in a pack, and it's cut just slightly wrong, like millimeters off, or it's printed millimeters off slightly wrong, you're automatically disqualified from getting a 10. It doesn't matter if you've kept it in the most perfect condition possible. It doesn't matter if, exactly that. You did everything right. You pack sealed it right out of the pack. You get a penny sleeve. You put it into one of these crazy thick cases that hold like one card, or honestly should hold one card. If the factory messes up, you're disqualified from getting a 10, which makes the low population on PSA even more valuable, right? So it makes these 241 cards, not of the Mew, but of the Lugia, it makes those cards incredibly valuable, right? So because it's low pop, it drives up the price because it's hard to get. Similar to, let's say, shadowless cards, where it was only out for like 1 or 2 prints, and then they were like, oh, let's add a shadowed background, right? So all the shadow cards are hard to get because they're finite, much like a PSA 10. So you don't necessarily have to buy the oldest set to be a good investor in Pokemon or whatever, or flip if you want to do that. If you get a PSA 10, you're automatically in the minority. You're automatically going to be profiting the most. Getting in, getting early, getting out late is also the best game plan there. I hope I've gone over everything so far. I hope I make enough sense. If I don't, ask me a comment down below, and I will absolutely reply and follow up with you, or make like a response video or whatever, explaining more. I wish I had more concrete examples to show you on eBay, but because of that guide went out by that important person I won't name, in like a secret Discord tech channel, they're all gone now. Basically, all the whales took them all, literally between yesterday and today. So we went over how to spot a PSA 10 raw, not with many examples. I'll be frank with you on that one. I'm sorry. I didn't expect that. How to look up raw versus graded pricing. I used Mavinio. You can use eBay as well. You can just search and sort by lowest or highest, and you can usually get what you want by using best match. Lowest you might get like an online card. So if it's like $1, obviously don't buy it unless you're into that. Anything below like an 8 in PSA grading, who cares? Like, oh yeah, it's an authentic card. Yeah, okay, but it looks like crap. So who really wants that? When I can just get a PSA 10 for, X percent more, but have that value increase over time while the 7 gets a diminishing return at a certain amount. So you could buy in at $60 for a PSA 10, for a PSA 7, and then after 10 years, that PSA 7 goes up to $80. Wow, incredible. Terrible returns in that. And then the PSA 10 goes up by, I don't know, 100% year over year, 5% year over year. If you're going to be buying in a PSA 10 at $600 and it goes up 5% year over year, I don't know the math on that right off the top of my head, but that would be insane compared to $60 year over year, 5%. It's just, it doesn't add up. The rich get richer, basically. And you can gamble at the 7, maybe make like $20 here or something, but really you want to either get raw and get it graded, or get raw and keep it raw, basically. And then maybe someone else can grade it, and then maybe they can cash out. It's really just a gamble of what other humans think your card is worth, and it can be tough for that exact reason. Also, these 3 cards here, the Jirachi, the Mew, and the Arceus, They're all legendary Pokemon. You can go to like Pokemon Wikipedia or whatever, Pokepedia, Bulbapedia. It was one other guy who did a whole bunch of Pokemon stuff back in the day. I forget his name right now. It'll come to me later. But you can look up all the exclusive Pokemon, or you can just look up the cards that are worth the most, I guess. Like this Genesect, for example. People were told to buy that one too. People are selling a PSA 9 for apparently like $40, $80, $80 now. This one apparently went for 10. Sorry, this one, a PSA 10 went for $155 today. That's a consignment as well, by the way. If we search up Shining Genesect, what do we get on here? High to low. 180, but even just, a couple days ago even, these seem to be raw cards. A 9 from CGC sold for $50. Raw ones here going for 11 or 12. Maybe I should just search PSA 10. I think that'd probably be easiest. You can do your own due diligence here and basically just see over time that we had an incredible spike in demand and price for these. This is probably low confidence. I don't really think this sold for $190 a month ago. I could be wrong, because this one did too. But this one here also sold for $100, and it's an English card. The Japanese Pokemon card, this one here is only $50. Apparently he put googly eyes on it. The Japanese cards do best when they're an exclusive card that you can't get in the US, which automatically makes them harder to get and rarer because there's less of them, and they're not easily attained. Right. But this is just a card you can get in any language, so it's valued less. But yeah, this card, like, no one cares about this card. I'm gonna promise you now, no one knows what a Genesect is. I barely do. I think it's like a bug mech Pokemon, pretty sure. I think it's from Black and White 2. Maybe? I don't know. Like, I'm doing my best here. I didn't play that one. But this went for $40 7 months ago. A PSA 10, Shining Genesect, $40 back in March. March is a different time. I'll be with you on that one. But $40-$50 back then? No one cares. It's weird people care now. But getting into modern is definitely a good idea. And I can tell you why in another video. Because this is already 32 minutes, and I feel like you don't need to hear all that all at once. So don't get a PSA 10 Bidoof, because that'll be in every pack. Everyone has a Bidoof. Nobody cares that it's an authentic Bidoof because people just rip that card up in half, right? Nobody cares about your Nidoran or Nidorino or whatever it is, Enza Danino, whatever card it is. Nobody cares. Just rip it up. Don't get it graded. You get it. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. It costs money to grade things. So a PSA card, you have to pay a certain price to get it graded, depending on the expected market value of that card if it gets graded at the level you think it will be at. So let's say you get a the Charizard Logic Bot, you would have to pay like $5 or $10 grand to go get that card graded if you had it raw, because it's going to be worth like $200,000, right? It's not going to be that easy. If you're going to get the Shining Arceus card graded, it's expected to be about $400. So I think you would have to get the regular service, which is $50 for a card. I think that is capped at $500. Let me check if I can just find the price guide real quick. Pokemon cards. Let me pause right here, and then I'll get the stats for you real quick. Okay, I got the stats for you. So the max declared value is what I'm talking about by the expected amount. So it's the amount that you think the card would be worth had it be perfect, or even if you know it's not perfect, the amount that you think it would be worth at that grading level. So let's say, for example, you think it's an 8 because, it's got some scuffs, it doesn't look great. It's like, it could be an 8, the alignment's slightly off. And then the 8 is worth $90. So, you could put in, like, for example, like the economy service, which I think is not listed here because they're actually really busy, supposedly. And the max value in that would be like $200, I think, maybe, for the expected value of the card. So you'd be good to put in for $10 on your investment of whatever you paid for the card, and then get a return back of whatever that is in excess. The regular card service is $50. The max declared value is $1,000. So you'd be good to go there. There's other versions of things you can throw in, but the max amount is $200 if you're going to sell a card. And if you get it graded like PSA 10, they might like charge you again for the amount that you owe in extra, right? So if you're going to go for one of these exclusive services, like you can't even see these because I got into like a certain membership with PSA. So these aren't available to the general public up top above regular. Express would be, I think Express is $20 a card. I'm sorry, economy is 20 or $10 a card. I forget what it is. Express is 75, so you get it in like 5 to 10 business days to get it back rated, but it's $75 a card, and the max amount the card could be is $2,500. So you really have to take into account the price that it takes to get graded, the price that it takes to get shipping, the price of the card, before you send it in to even get graded. So you have to kind of all do the math and then gamble that you might get an expected amount returned back, or you make or break it essentially. So that's all up to you in figuring out if it's going to be worth it. So if you try and send in economy shipping $10 for a PSA 10 Bidoof, a PSA 10 Chinchou or whatever, everyone has that card. Nobody cares. It's going to be like $20 on eBay. I've seen it for common cards. I've looked up, like even the hollow cards, reverse hollow cards. It's going to be about $20 for a common card. So you're getting it graded, then you have to pay to ship it to PSA. Then you have to pay to ship it out unless you do whatever with it. You got to pay for supplies to actually ship it out, like a bubble mailer, like actual like tape or whatever, bubble wrap. And then you got to pay for the eBay fees. Then you got to pay for PayPal fees, which those two combined should be about 10%. So really, like, what are you making there? Like, I honestly couldn't tell you. Like, 10 cents, $1, $2. I mean, in mass, yeah, it could work. But you would have to think about the strategy. If you had an entire set of cards, like if I go here, if I had all of these cards together, and they're all PSA 10s or PSA 9s even, that wouldn't go for $20 if you sold it as a set. If you got all these cards graded in the set as a PSA 10, that could be better for an investor to get every single card in the set in a PSA 10 all at once. You could charge a premium on top of what you would want for the PSA 10 card in itself. So it's not just, it's better than the sum of all the parts, I should say. That is something you can do, and that is possible. Whew. How you doing, guys? I feel like I need a break or something. But I feel bad for you if you were listening to this and can't exactly follow along completely. Please just let me know. I'm so used to these long-winded conversations and tangents. But what I'm showing you here is Shining Legends boxes. So when a set comes out, it's in stuff that looks like this. They're not just selling cello or cellophane packs or whatever you want to call them. Let me show you. They're not just showing you packs that are like this, where they come in this little thing. They're usually bundled in like this huge container or in like a little prepaid package. I got one over here actually. They look like this. you know, let me big screen in here. They look like this for the newest set. You got some premium cards, you got some pins, and you got packs over here. I believe there are 5 packs in this set. The contents are on the back. Yeah, all right here. But you get all these goodies. I believe this went for 25 retail, 30 retail. I don't remember. I think I'm selling it for 75. So I think it's 25 or 30 retail for just this box. I have the other one of these too. Yeah, they come with 5 packs in here, so it evens out. I think it's what, like $3 or $4 a pack or something like that. And then they have other goodies, and it all kind of evens out. But you know, you're still paying the retailer whatever they want. So it's good to pay retail if you can for those things, or wholesale, which is even better. But if we look at something like this, where oh, this guy's actually just selling a whole bunch of the empty boxes, because that's pretty crazy. If we look at something like this, you can see what I'm talking about here. So, you know, this is the box that would come in on the store shelves. You would get like 4 packs of this set. Maybe you can get a card like these. Maybe. Super rare, by the way. And then you get this exclusive promo. Everyone's going to have the promo. But the interesting thing about that is with these super boxes over here. Let me show you over here. I guess you have to tilt your head for this one. But right here in the middle, let me open that in another tab actually. Right here in the middle, in this Premium Powers collection for Shining Legends, like a premium box, so you know it would be sold at a premium. You can get like, what is it, 8 packs, 10 packs in here, and the Lugia that we've actually been talking about is in this box. Believe it or not. The Shining Lugia we're talking about is the auto-included card. One of them, at the very least. Another one is this Ho-Oh GX. It looks like a secret rare, but I think it's an auto-include, but you know, it could still be. The Shining Celebi in English is doing pretty okay right now as a PSA 10. But the best thing about looking at listings for this premium collection is if they have like a genuine photo, which this looks like a genuine photo, you can see the cutout of the actual card itself as the promo. So you can get, you know, as long as it's in a good position, it's not like this Ho-Oh GX, because you know they can be randomized. You can actually see the cutout of the top and the bottom and the sides, and you can assume that it would be in mint condition because it's sealed in here. I will you know, be honest with you, those ones are hard to get out because you gotta like, you know, jostle a bit to get the card out because it's stuck in there. But you can see the cut of the card and make a informed buying decision to tell, you know, should I buy this one, get it graded, sell for $800? You know, even though I'm gonna have to pay $200 for this one box of 10 packs and the promos here, which honestly is worth it. And you know, they have 52 watchers today. I don't know how many yesterday. 224 people looked at this, so by the time you're watching this, this is long gone, and these boxes are probably going to be like $400 or $500. I don't know, just a guess. Yeah, I think they're going to explode by Christmas, if not January, February. So if we look at these, they're going for about 250 right now, something like that. You can tell what I mean by a genuine photo is by this photo here, where it's literally on some guy's floor and you can see what cards are there, versus this one here where it's like an OEM picture of everything included and blah blah blah, or this one here which is exactly that. You know, you personally, you can do whatever you want. If you want to buy it, you want to gamble, I would get one that has a genuine photo of oldie cards inside, like this one here by, you know, Joe Schmo, right? And you can see all the cards here. You can message him like, oh, can you send me another picture of that Lugia over there in the corner? And, you know, this one's a little tough because it's in the background over here. This is actually a figure collection, I think it is, because it's got a little Ho-Oh here. Who knows what that's worth? So it's a little bit different, but this one too even still has the Ho-Oh GX, the Celebi, the Pikachu and the Lugia cards, so it has everything you want. In particular, Lugia and the Celebi. And you can still see the cut of it right over there. You know, I can't tell personally because it's like so far away and kind of weird looking. But you can see the top at least a little bit. You know, you can pull the top of it up a little bit and see what inside. You can see the left and the right side and even the bottom. So you could probably make a good decision as to see if it's aligned well enough. How aligned enough it is depends entirely on if you're gonna get a 10 or not. I can show you my card here, which I thought may have been a 10 at first, but then when I really looked at it, I'm not entirely sure if it could be. So humble brag, whatever. If I show you this, you can see how on this side with my pinky finger, it's actually slightly thinner than the other side. Sorry, I had to move it back. I had to make sure I was right. It's actually like slightly thinner than the right side over here. Oh, excuse me. And it's like just ever so slightly off by like millimeters. I think depending on the person looking at it, it could be a 10. Depending on the person looking at it, it could be a 9. I think it's a given to be at least a 9. But hey, what do I know, right? I'm just a guy. I don't work at PSA. Yeah, so it's really a gamble as to what the people at PSA say your card should be worth. And even that depends day to day, depending on who looks at it, depending on who confirms the number, depending on who didn't really care, depending on what order you stack the cards in. If you're going to do multiples, so you put you put the bad card on top, and then you put the good card at bottom, so they're all primed and lubed up to give you a good grade. They're like, oh yeah, you know, confirmation bias or whatever. They're like, oh yeah, that one was bad, you know. Oh, this one's great, you know, in comparison. Oh, I'll give that one a 10, you know. So really, you gotta game the system. I'm not advocating for it, but you know, there's ways to game the system, or just try again. But I hope this video helped you, by any means. I gotta put a disclaimer that this is not financial advice. I'm not someone qualified to give that. This is just my opinion, and my personal experiences, and I'm sharing that with you today. But yeah, I think Pokemon cards generally are worth it, in terms of buying and holding sealed product, like these boxes I just showed you now, or collector booster boxes. Elite trainer boxes, anything really sealed retains all of its value, usually, in Pokemon. Stuff like this will absolutely retain value because it has stuff people care about in it. People care about Gen 1 and Gen 2. After that, who cares, right? You know, people know the legendaries up to a certain point, and then it's that point, like Rattle and Kyogre and Rayquaza, that people are like, all right, what is there next? You know, I don't really know, right? And you know, that's kind of how I feel. But in a sense, you have to get the things people care about, right? So this is something people care about. They want to get the best possible version of it, so they pay at a premium, and then everyone else joins in because they hear about it or they agree with that, and they buy it at a more greater premium. But yes, I hope this video helped you. Hopefully you can do your own research and do your due diligence and get get some cards while they get listed from eBay to eBay again after getting graded an 8. Because in the video recorded previously, I basically said, yeah, all these cards, they're like an 8 or a 9 max. They're not a 10 because the alignment is off because they didn't care about the quality of the cards being cut in this particular set, which is unfortunate, but it is also a good thing at the same time for the 10s to increase the price, increase the value of the cards, and so on and so forth. If you hear my voice crackling out, I'm not compensating for anything. I have gone through puberty. I look like I'm 10, but I promise. I've been talking for almost an hour straight. Any break, I didn't, walk up and walk around. I literally did what I was gonna I said I was gonna do, and yeah, I did it. So pretty much all in one take from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. I hope this was important for you to hear. I hope this helps you in some way. And if you want to see more stuff like this, leave me a comment down below. Give me a like if you made it this far. Add this video to your favorites, maybe. Send me a comment. Follow me on Twitter. Do whatever else. I'm not really sure. I don't really know. But take care and good night. All right. Take care.